Okay, so we're here. I'm speaking today with Matt 52, Matt Fit 52, and we're gonna chew over some. We're a couple of old guys. We're gonna chew over some ideas around a subject, and if you guys like it, then we'll do more. So Matt, introduce yourself. Tell the guys what you're about.
I am Matt Deason from Arizona. I'm a landscaper. And you're like, oh, well, why is a landscaper talking about podcasting, doing all the nonsenses? I'm a dude. I'm just like you. I I mean, I'm a leader of men. And a leader doesn't say I am a leader. A leader doesn't walk into a room and be like, you say that guy's a leader. But I introduce myself that way is because it means something. It means something to me to make an impact on younger men. It means something to me to change their lives in a positive way, whatever way that means. And so when I say leader, I cherish the title when somebody tells me and they listen to my advice to do something like that. That right there is what personally in my own life is I feel that's what a leader is. Somebody that you want to emulate, somebody that you hear their voice and you're like, I want to be like that. And that's the type of man I'm trying to be. That's the type of life I'm trying to live, is be a man that you could look at and say, I want to be like that. I don't want to be the guy that you think I'm cool. I don't want you to think that I have like, oh man, that's how I want you to think. I want to be that type of man. I want to be a person that's respected. I want a person that respects others. That's the type of life that I want to be. And so my name is Matt Deason and I'm a landscaper, but I want to be an inspiration to men. I want people to understand is that it's okay to love yourself and it's okay to be sad. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be strong and still be weak at the same time. And so that's my message. And so when I say I'm a landscaper, I'm a man. I'm a hardworking man. I'm in the grind. I'm not better than anybody. I've been treated like the worst possible person, but I've also been treated like the best type of person. So I want you to understand where I'm coming from as a human being. So that's who I am.
Love that. I love that, man, because that's what this is, isn't it? We're just guys.
Yeah.
And what I love about what you said is that you're a guy who's constantly trying to operate at his best and be better than yesterday. And that says it all for me.
Yeah. Hey man, I'm reading I was me and my wife. I matter of fact, we sat on my back patio yesterday, and I read this out loud to my wife. This is your thing that you sent me, the ladder of
Philosophy,
human
yeah.
expansion. Yes, your doctrines, bro. And the reason why I say this, I read them out loud. My wife is sitting there, and I'm saying all your words, and so eloquent, my friend. You are an amazing writer. The way you put the word, like I feel the same way, but my mind did not function in that way to say it that way, that perfect. And I was saying them out loud, and all I could see is I looked over at my wife, and she was just nodding her head. She's nodding her head. She goes, "Oh, so this guy thinks exactly like you." This is what she said. These. But what I'm reading, I go, baby. But what I'm reading is I am in the young stage of this. I'm the one. I'm learning these things. I'm following, and he is already there. He's the guidance. He is the guy that fell on all of these rocks, tripped his toe on all of these rocks to know not to fall over the cliff. He knows the pathway, and so God put him, and I don't know what your relationship with God is, but I say God put him in my life to put my thoughts and guide them to where they need to go. He found the pathway and you found the way. Sure. Do I think little things here and there are different than you? For sure. But that's us as men. That's nuances of
Yeah, yeah.
my life compared to your life. And so as I'm reading it out loud, and like I said, more and more as we got deeper in. My wife was she's just shaking her head and she's looking and she's got like that pride thing, and she goes, "That's exactly how you see the world." And I said, "This is more." I said, he's focused me more. He has actually made me see more of what I thought I already saw. And so I wanted to
Right.
appreciate you and tell you that, man, this is an amazing thing. And I read every word and your stories with Bruce Lee and the water and the whole thing. I'm telling you, brother, it touched me. And yes, you need to release this for people to read.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that. Um, yeah, I mean, crikey, I'm, what I will correct you on is I'm no way ahead. I'm just trying to write down where I am. So it's like everyone else. It's just trying to work it out, but trying to work it out like you said, with the thought of leading, if I was to look at myself, would I be happy or disappointed? You know, so it's trying to just continually stay focused in the path that I really want to achieve, and that's in trying to be the best version of me, so that I benefit and everyone that I'm connected with benefits. That's the goal,
Yeah.
and trying to keep it that simple. It quietens all the noise, you know,
And
and
that's what you do. And I'm telling you, your focus, the words that you say, the way you say them, it took me where I thought I was focused, and I was like, no, no, no. Just like you said with the light, the things don't go away. Your focus changes. You go right to where you need to go, and that alone, those words alone, go boom, like it exploded in my mind. You know, like when you hear those things, and you're like, all right, I needed to hear that
yeah,
right then, like, right. And you do that a lot. Your videos will hit me randomly on some days where I'm like, I don't know, and I don't know, and then I hear your voice, and I'm like, oh, now he knows, and now I know. And so then I try, and then I share that with somebody else. But it all starts with you already taking that step, or you going, hey, did you think about this? And I was like, I did not think about this. And so that's, and I commend you and thank you. And I, like I said, I feel God has a plan, and God, I no
appreciate that.
longer look past things. I don't look past the signs. Now I go, wait, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Why did I meet this guy? Well, why is this guy? Why did that make sense to me? So let me find out why God put this guy in my life. And so that's where we're at right now, my friend.
I
I'm
love it.
looking,
Thank
I'm
you,
looking
man.
at you. Yeah.
I appreciate that. But so what we're going to talk about today um, is around the word and the feeling of judgment. And as a couple of old guys, I know I certainly have, and I'm sure you have. We've done things because we felt judged. We've not done things because of how we might be perceived as being judged. And I just wonder what your well, I've got a couple of questions that I wrote down, and let's
Okay.
let's let's go over these. So, why do you think we care so much about what other people think of us?
It's ingrained in us, I think, right? Like because when we were like, I can imagine just when I was a child. I remember back then. I remember my first experience of like embarrassment. I had an older brother that was my bully. If you watch my lives, I talk about him all the time. And I remember him coming, like I was playing with my friends, and I blatantly remember him showing up and him calling me names. He used to call me Dumbo, my ears, and he used to call me Fat Boy. And now that I look back at it, I actually wasn't even fat, but because of him, and he
Yeah,
was thinner than me. My whole in my body image for my whole entire life was I was the fat kid. Even when I was like on steroids, when I was in my 20s, and I was big and stuff, I still saw the fat kid. I still saw the big eared fat kid, no matter what, in that mirror. You know, I forgot my topic now, bro. I jumped off. If you know me, I go off on tangents, and I forget what my original.
no,
What
you're
was the
good.
original question again? Can you go back
So
to the original question?
it was just why do we care so much about what other people think of us?
I think it cares because I remember what it felt like when somebody thought badly of me.
Yeah,
I think the feeling of never wanting that again, and then I got to that point in my life because you watch your Saturday morning cartoons and how they're like that. There's the nerdy kid that somehow becomes cool because he's acting the right way, and the cool kids will see him, and I've always felt like that kid. I've always felt like the kid that's like left out. So when I watch those, every time that you were watching in the morning, you're like, I'm him, like I am him. I'm judged all the time. Everybody's judging me, not realizing now that we're older, nobody's looking at you. Like they're busy with their own shit, and nobody. And so everything, as a kid, is always me, me, me. How do I think? And I say this. I know this is crazy, and this is just like me. I'm a landscaper. And the reason why that means something is I've been doing it since I was 6, and I grew up in people's backyards. I work in a retirement community, so I'm always being watched. I'm no matter, like, if I was a little kid and I bumped a sprinkler or something, somebody would come out and tell my dad, and I'd get in trouble. And so everything I would do,
yeah,
like I blew my nose one time and I got yelled at, or I peed behind a bush. We don't have any outhouses, so we got to find a bush. And then some people caught me, and I was being, so my whole life I felt watched. I felt like I'm under the thing, and because I worked there, I had to be. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can never be like, what are you talking about? I can't do that. So my whole life is based on I have to please everybody around me. Everybody's watching me. I'm seeing, and I'm to this day. I even know that now because I'll be alone in my living room, knowing nobody's seeing, nobody can watch me, nobody's watching me, but I feel eyes on me. I feel eyes because that's just the way that and I think this I was talking to my dad about this. I think this is God. And you're taken aback. You're like, what do you mean? I go, because God is always watching me. God is always watching me, but in throughout my life, I didn't necessarily believe in God. I didn't, I was hit and miss. There's dinosaurs. I was told that this Bible and there's this guy that rose from the dead and this whole thing. I've told him this, but the people that go see them are mad at each other and they hate each other. And these guys stopped going to the church because this guy said this guy, and this guy touched this guy's wife. And, the whole, so I got caught up in the fact that people in religion sucked. So I thought religion sucked. And so I got away from God and I was like, I'm a science guy and I'm the whole thing, right? And so again, I just got off my topic again, bro. I keep keep going with these things. So back to this. My whole life I felt judged. And so the reason why I say that, why do we care? Why do we do that? We care because it's how people treat us is how we feel. And so we've tried to find the way to act out. We have to do the persona. We have to do, oh, I jumped up and down and they smiled. So now let me put that in my bank. That's going to make that person happy. Oh, wait, if I do this in front of a bunch of people, wow, that makes a lot of people happy. So now
Yeah.
I'm becoming that. And the problem with that is now we are judging others too. Now I'm watching. I'm like, well, I do that better than them. Oh, they're not even trying. Oh, what is that person doing over there? Because it's all it is compare and contrast.
Yeah,
I'm this
Doreen.
and you're that and this is that. And so that's the judgment. And I think where you are in life and where I feel like I'm in life is I'm fucking done with the judgment. Who the fuck am I? I mean, I'm in a glass house, so I'm throwing no rocks. So when I see a fellow man fucking up, I go, I'm sorry with the language. I don't know if we're going to do that,
No,
but
you're good. You're good.
yeah, when I see the fellow man and he's going through the stuff, I no longer want to judge him. I no longer want to tell him, oh, look at this idiot. Like I was in traffic yesterday. We're going to pick up my dad, and the person's speeding through traffic. And in the past, I'd be like, look at this fucking guy. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I hope they're okay. I hope that
Yeah.
they make it. I hope that they're not so angry that something bad's going to happen right now. That's the
Yeah.
way I see it. And I go, whoa, that's growth. In my life. I was like, what is this asshole? My whole life, I would have thought that. But in this very moment, I didn't have 1 second of going, who is that guy? I go, oh my God, I hope they're okay. Oh man, I hope something bad didn't tragic didn't happen in their life. I hope that they're not struggling right now. I hope that, and that's just the difference of no, I no longer am angry at the world. I'm no longer mad at everybody. Now I just have compassion and I want people to win and I want people to, grow
Yeah.
like what you're doing is
Can
so
Can I ask you?
fantastic to me.
Was there a moment, because obviously when you reflect back on your life, you'll realize that the amount of thoughts that you were being judged was up here, but the amount of judgment that you had on other people was probably this much, because the rest of
Right.
that was you worrying about you.
Hmm.
So do you remember when you realized that was a mismatch and that actually people aren't looking at you?
I mean, that was recently. If I had to be honest, that I realized that people weren't looking at me because my whole life, uh, I'm loud though. So the difference is I am the guy that's in the room that everybody saw because I make sure that you see me. But I don't want you to see me to be intimidating. I want you to see me as smiles. Hey, everything's okay. I'm the protector. I am not the guy that's going to beat you down. I'm the guy that's going to beat down the guy that's going to try to beat you down. So
Yeah.
that's the world that I'm in. So maybe I'm watched a little bit more. I have crazy blue eyes that everybody talks about all the time. It's constant. The people stop and stare, ask me, randomly, what's with your eyes? So I am being seen. You know what I mean? Like so when I know that nobody's watching. Like when I'm in my car, I know that in the bath, like you're driving with your car. and you reach up and you put your finger in your nose, you think everybody in the world is staring at you, and
Yeah,
nobody does, except for the one day where you're like this and you look over and somebody's staring you
that's
right in
right.
your
Yeah,
face. Right, but most of the time nobody gives a shit, because I know when I'm driving in my car, I don't fucking know you exist. I'm trying to get from point A to point B, and I got this to deal with, and I got a bill I got to pay, and I, whatever. And then you accidentally get cut off in traffic, and now all of a sudden you think that person hates my guts. That person, they're here to ruin my whole entire day. But to only realize is they don't even know you exist. You're actually in their way. They're you know what? They're late for work and they got to be somewhere, and you're nothing. That's when I
exactly
started to
right.
realize, hey, calm
Yeah,
down, bro. You know what I mean? Like, hey, they're having a bad day too. Once you start to look at your fellow man, you go, I wonder what he's going through, instead of saying, fucking get out of my way. You know?
that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because we've all been there, haven't we? To use that car analogy, we've all been that little arsehole driving around rapid. But also, we've also been the guy who's got to get there quick because you've had the phone call, somebody's in the hospital or something's happened, and you're trying to get there as fast as you can. But what you see as another person is the same activity, right? So the assumption is they're an arsehole. And
Mm-hmm.
and most of the time that's just not true. It's what are they going through? I'll get out of their way and let them go rather than try and fight them and hold them back. We've all been there, haven't we? It's crazy.
Yeah. It's all that self-importance we talk about. We feel so self-important that you're doing this to me, instead of realizing they're just doing it and I just happen to be here.
That's it. You just happen to be in
Life
the
is
way. Yeah,
happening around you. It's not happening to you. If you can get
absolutely right.
that, get out of your own fucking way. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
it's get over
yeah.
yourself, right? Like, is that what it is? But also, I want you to love yourself, and I want you to be, but you got to get over the fact that, well, I saw this quote, and hopefully I'm gonna screw it up now because I can't think of it. But it's you are worrying about a person that gets through problems every day without you. Meaning, like, I'm here worried about you, but knowing that you get through these problems. If I'm here or not, you're getting
Yeah,
through this problem. You're going to get through it. But
yeah,
somehow I'm taking on all this burden because I think you can't handle it. You know, and
yeah.
so that yeah.
And
So
it
let's
takes a
talk about
great
you.
deal takes a great deal of your energy, doesn't it? I
Yeah.
had a similar situation where I had a driving job. I'd become a service engineer, so I was driving all over the country, and I was inches from the car in front, and I was ranting and raging at everybody who was in my way because they were my problem, and by the end of the week, I was exhausted, not because of the work I'd been doing, but just because of mentally where I'd been for the entire week. I was on all the time. Everyone was just trying to make my week harder. It was me making my week harder. The moment I backed off, I got there maybe 3 minutes slower, but I got the work done faster. I got home easier. I felt better.
You
Everybody that
almost
I was
didn't have a
speaking
heart
to.
attack.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
people weren't going out of their way to make me unhappy. It was simply that I was just in a different place.
Yeah.
And once I realized that and was able to settle down, just life gets easy. It's so surprising how difficult we can make our own life because of our thinking of others, and it's simply not true, is it?
Yeah, yeah. No, hey, perspective. This. Like you said, you doing that same job nowadays. You'd sit there and smile. You'd be like, huh, I remember when
Yeah,
I almost killed a guy for doing this the other day.
that's
And then
right.
now I'm
Yeah,
smiling. And guess
yeah,
what? My day is exactly the same. And I'm smiling. Maybe I'm not going to have a heart attack. My blood pressure's fine because now I'm just smiling at this nonsense instead of going, why are you doing this to me? You know?
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. Okay, so
And
next
then
one we have.
it's weird. Oh, sorry. Hold on. But isn't it
Well,
weird? It's weird that we have so much control, and we've had this control our whole lives. We've had this control when we were kids. We've had this control. Why now? Why now? They just handed me the joystick and they're like, I mean, it's easy. You just got to do it like this. Oh, you don't want to be mad? Don't be mad. Oh, you don't want to be sad? Don't be sad. Feel your feelings. Don't block shit out. And that's the one thing I try to get across to everybody is do not push your feelings down. Do not just put them aside and try to deal with them later. Understand why you have. Listen to them. Go, man, that hurts a lot. Why does
yeah,
that hurt a lot? What happened in my life that made those words make me like inside, my blood pressure raised, I started to tears started coming out of my eyes. Why do those words? Because those words can come from a lot of other people. And that won't
Absolutely.
affect me at all. They won't even, I can't even hear those words. They're, like you say, the focus thing. They're not the thing I focus on. They won't even give me a but somehow I gave so much value to these words. Something in my life has damaged me enough that I viscerally affected by that person saying those words in that tone. And and then, but the question is at what point in your life do you get to the point where you realize, oh, I can hear the tone. I understand. And that's not about me. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with the pain in their lives, their childhood, everything that they've been through is the words that are coming at me. And if I don't take them personal, if my ego and my pride says it's still about them, let's listen to them. Stop feeling it. It doesn't matter how what this is. I mean, we'll deal with that eventually. But when it get over here, let's hear the words. Let's hear their feelings instead of how does this affect me? And you will have the better connection with any human being ever when you stop making it
Completely.
about you and you make it all about them. You become their biggest fan.
Yeah, 100%. That's 100% correct.
Yeah.
It's all about the feelings that you have, are just about the meanings that you've attached to those words or those scenarios. And the moment you can realize that, question yourself simply with, is that true now?
Yeah.
And of course it was maybe true when you were 10 years old or 8 years old,
Hmm.
but as a 50-year-old man, is it true now? Well, more often than not, it simply isn't true any longer. You've proved way beyond that that's no longer the case. And so, yeah, it's the simple questions, but it's taking a breath, isn't it? Just slowing down enough to ask
I love
yourself
that. I love that.
the
Your
question.
what is it? The what? Tom? Your Tom is the perfect way to say that, sir. I mean, my wife even she goes. Everybody says it. The pause. They say the thing, but Tom, that is the perfect way to say it. And I was like, yep. I mean, you're very eloquent, my friend. You're obviously you've been published because your words they mean something. They do. And so sorry, I interrupt. I interrupt, and I don't interrupt to be rude. I interrupt because I sometimes have an emotion. I want to tell you, you're great, and you need to hear this. So hopefully, if you're
I,
gonna
I,
get
I
used
need
to
to
talking to me,
I need to call you every day.
you can do. You can. You can. I will listen, and I will, brother. I'll tell you what. If you need to know how great you are, just ask me. I'll tell you.
Stop it. You make me red. Right, here's the next one. Do you think sometimes we feel judged when nobody was actually judging us?
Oh yes, without a doubt. How do you
Builds
feel
on,
about that? What do you tell me? I'll explain my. You go.
yeah, well, that builds on exactly what you were saying. That's our insecurity, isn't it? It's the feeling that if you are slightly over, the easy one is weight, isn't it? So if you are a little insecure about your body, if you, as you were mentioning earlier, if you feel in your mind that you're fat or you could be in better shape, it's constantly there on your mind, just somewhere at the back, just whispering, "You're fat, you're out of shape," constantly. And then as you interact with people, you 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 almost you make the mistake that whisper, which is your own mind, is actually somebody else whispering. Oh, look at him, look at her. Oh my goodness, that's disgusting. It's simply not true. That's just your insecurity, and your
Yeah,
insecurity is like a little gremlin just whispering away, constantly chipping away at your confidence, at your self-esteem. It's just chipping away, and because you give it credit, you then change your behavior because you
yeah.
start
Do you? But
treat.
do you feel you're because you are having these insecurities and you feel you're actually listening for things to even relate to that insecurity when the
Correct.
person's not actually saying it, and you're now you're feel now you're starting to hear the things that you want to hear, the things that
Oh,
you are relating to this
totally.
person, right? And so
Yeah.
yeah, and and
Yeah,
I
totally.
yes, I would 100% say yes, we do that. We do that without. I do it when I know my focus in life is. So what's my focus in life right now is to better conversations, to feel smarter, to listen to my increase my vocabulary, have those are the things. So now when I'm talking to people smarter than me, I I try to not do it, but I hear them down talking me. I hear them, okay, well, I'm gonna talk less to him. And then but because I'm going through growth, I go, you're being dumb. What are you doing? You're projecting on this. Just like I told the story yesterday, how I was in my truck, and did you wouldn't happen to hear it, right? Like the story that I
Didn't hear
told
it.
yesterday.
No,
So
no.
so I wa- I was yesterday. I was driving my dad's truck, and I don't ever drive my dad's truck. He was out of town. The reason why I had his truck was ridiculous, and the fact that I drove in his truck like one other time before, and I happened to program my phone to his truck that day. So the fact that my phone connects to his phone or to his truck is a ridiculous thing, and the fact that I'm in his truck at this very time is a ridiculous thing. And so yesterday I had his truck, and I was going to the gym, and the reason why it connects my phone connecting to the truck, it'll make sense when I tell you. And I go outside, and I'm the kind of guy, I'm God, and I'm looking up at the sky, and it's 3 a.m, so nobody's around. And I look up at the sky, and I was like, what do you want from me? What is my purpose? And then I go, who am I? Why do I think that I'm good enough to have a purpose? Why do I think that this is like I'm some kind of messenger of God? Why do I think that I'm important? Right. And I'm like, what? So I just, first I'm positive and I'm asking. And by the time I beat myself up in my own conversation, and I'm getting in the truck, and I turn on the truck, the phone, I was listening loud the day before because I drove it home from my dad's house, and it comes on, and it's the end of a song. It's not the middle, it's not the beginning, it's not whatever. It's the end of this song, and the song says, you feel like you're a drop in the ocean, but you're an ocean in one drop, meaning you're bigger than you see. And that's the first words I hear. And I'm telling you, it's this DJ that I randomly listen to, and he's so obscure, and there's no reason why he's on my phone. But this song comes on. And that's the end of the song. And then the very next song comes on, it's Awaken. And the lyrics of this song just tells you, you stop dwelling in who you used to be. You had to go through the fire to become who you are now. You are God's messenger, and you feel bad, or you feel less than, but you are great, and you are bigger than that. And these are the two things I heard right in me when I just asked God out
Really?
loud, verbally, which I never do, out to the sky like a weirdo, which is, I feel, what are you doing? And I get in, and this music's blaring, and these are the exact words I hear, and the hair on my neck stands up, and I'm sitting in my truck in the gym, and I'm crying because I'm like, that is an answer. I mean, if I'm ever going to ask a question, do I believe in signs, and am I looking for signs? Fuck yeah, I'm looking for good. I am looking for that answer, and that's the answer I got. So I was crying, and I posted it yesterday, and the guy that writes the songs, it has the albums, he saw that I wrote that, and I said that about
Wow.
him, and I was crying and whatever, and he goes, I asked God this exact same question about all of these things, and he just gave me my answer through your answer of why. I asked him, why did I do this music, and God, why do I do this, and what is this about? And he said, this is my answer. My answer's through you. And I've been talking to him ever since. Like we've been messaging back and forth. He's 50 years old, and he's
I
been through
love that.
drugs and alcohol, and he's recovery, and he just was God's plan, and he wants everybody to succeed. And I'm like, bro, I'm the same way. And I told him I was going to talk to you, and I go, he has the same idea. I go, bro, we're all trying to lift everybody up, and it's amazing how God's bringing everybody together.
Yeah, I
So
love that. And I love I love the fact that you were able to hear it, because
yeah,
I think this is happening all of the time, but a lot of the time we miss that. So the very fact that you actually tuned into the song and heard it at the right
yeah,
time is amazing. That's really, I love that stuff because it's
yeah,
magical,
man.
right?
It is, man. And I'm telling you, and it's so magical. Like I said, me telling the story, he said he started crying when he heard me tell the story about his song.
Really
And I'm like,
fantastic.
bro, I am, man. And I go, dude, that's what God is, God's plan. He goes, I believe God puts people in my life. I go, I think it's weird that you're messaging random people that because everybody plays your music, dude. Like it's a share, cut and share all over TikTok. Everybody does it. And I go, why would you respond to mine? He goes, because God told me to respond to this. And I said, thank you,
Amazing.
man. Thank you, God. Yeah. So I'm going to interview him. I'm going to start doing podcasts. So this is my very first one with you. I'm going
Love
to
it.
start doing podcasts with There's a lady she's doing they're doing a Netflix special about her life and the convicted comeback. She's doing this whole, she goes back to prisons. So I'm going to do a podcast with her. She's got a whole studio. She wants me
Wow.
to do the interview. I
Yeah,
told
yeah.
her, I go, if you want the world to love you, let me talk about you. Let me ask you the questions, because nobody's going to be a bigger fan than I am. Because when I talk to you, like with you, I am your biggest fan. And I am enamored by people that are like extraordinary, that have what happened in your life that changed you from the kid that used to pick his nose and whatever to the man that wants to help everybody out and wants to achieve and wants to spread love and help everybody believe in themselves. What made you that? You know, what was the part in your life? What part broke you, right? What were the steps that took you that you had to come back from? And that's what I want to learn. And I think the ordinary man, people want to hear your story rather than hear the story of the star athlete that got the whatever. I want to hear about the guy that fucking was broken and found his way back to not being broken, so much so that he doesn't want anybody else to be broken. Like he didn't come back and like, fuck you, me against the world. You are,
Absolutely. Yeah.
hey, come with me. You know where it is? Come here. Let me give you a hug. Let me protect you and show you that, yes, the world's going to fuck you up. And yes, we're going to fall. And yes, you're going to be insecure. And yes, you're going to hurt people. Yes, you're going to make mistakes. Yes, those things are going to happen. But if you can find your way over here and start to see that people are hurting instead of always being, I'm hurting. Well, do something for me. You start to turn it outwards and you say, let me help you out, because it turns out that helps me too. My heart grows when I'm helping more than I'm ever
Absolutely.
helping myself, ever when I'm trying to protect myself, me trying to make money for me trying to get better. That sucks. That part right there is alone, and that is putting other people down in order to get to where I'm at. I want to be there, and I want to be like, you got some, you got some, we all got some, and we're all here together. And that's the world I want to be in.
That's right. That's right. It's always the route to suffering is to be in yourself.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's you know,
your words, the way you explain it in this is so out. I'm telling you, I don't know how we get this out there, but this right here, people need to read this because it makes you understand like I said, I'm a man that felt like I already understood myself, but you gave me the laser, you gave me the light, you gave me the focus on the focus. I thought I had I thought I had it light lasered in, and I was like, nope, there's still these over here and this over here. I need to get to this right here. And that's what you do with this.
yeah, good man. Thank you. Right. Let's have another one. We kind of covered that one. Let's go to this one. When does judgment become bullying? This is the interesting one, right? At what point does judgment become bullying, and where do you think that line is? I don't know. I don't know
Don't
about
know.
you.
Yeah.
I've been in my lifetime, like I think most people, I've been bullied and I've been a bully. You know, but if we're talking to a youngster now, you know, where do you think the line is where chatter becomes bullying?
Well, first of all, I got to say, bullying is important in this world. And I hate to say that. I hate to say that. Oh my God. What do you mean? Pain, hurt? No, that is important because we need to know it exists. We can't protect people from stuff and say, oh, well, no, we got to stop that from happening. No. That happens. That 100% happens. No matter what, you can fucking do whatever you want. And the more that you try to push it away, the more that it happens. So
Absolutely.
what you got to do is say, this exists. Be strong. And once they get through it, you lift them up and you say, yeah, that hurt. Your knees bruised. Yes, I understand all that. But that's part of life and you got to man up. I'm not telling you not to feel your feelings. I'm not telling you to do. I'm telling you is that the more times that happens, the less it hurts. You know, in life, everything, things are suffering. Every part of suffering sucks. But because of it, you become stronger. Life doesn't get easier. You get better at it. Your
You
scar
get better at
tissue.
it. Totally.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. You know,
Yeah, that's such a good line. That's exactly it. It doesn't get easier. Life without problems is death.
right.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not about less problems. It's about being stronger to run through the problems, right?
Yeah.
100%. And whilst
And
putting in,
you know this from your life experience. I know from my life experiences. I remember the things that sucked. I remember, like, I'm a landscaper. I remember how hard it was the first day I learned how to trim a bush. I remember it was
yeah,
above my head and it was too heavy and I was weak, and now I could trim an entire, like, community without even breathing. You know, I can do it with no, and I can make it perfect, and I can do. But I remember the day that my arm hurts because I was one bush in and it was burning and I couldn't get past this. And I remember bumped my arms on stuff, and the top of the bushes were all jagged. It sucked, and I remember the suck. But I remember now. So now that I don't suck at it, and you know, I tell people all the time, if there was an Olympics for trimming bushes, I would be the best in the world. But there isn't. You know, I said, but now I get to go. I look at the kid that it's his first day, and I see what he's going through, and I can't stop him from going through the pain, but I can go over to him and I say, it gets better. It gets better. And I'll tell you what, if you try this a little bit, it gets a little bit easier. I'm going to skip some steps for you. I remember when I used to put my elbow there. Yeah, that hurts. I said, but if you put it here, it goes a little bit faster. And that's all guidance and wisdom is. Wisdom isn't me fixing it for him. God isn't me telling him this is how you do it. It says, hey, buddy, do it your way, but here's a little bit of pointer. You maybe you're going to find a better way, and maybe if I'm smart enough, I'll watch how you do it and say, oh, wait a minute, maybe that'll improve the way. Even though I feel like I'm the best in the world, I see something new, and maybe that'll make me even better. And that's the leader. A leader isn't the guy that knows everything. The leader is the guy that says, I fucked up too. Try this. This is, hey, look at this bruise. I got that from this. Can't stop you from having it, but I can tell you how it's going to maybe not hurt as much. You know, and then that's tutelage. That's being a grown up. That's being having wisdom and sharing it with others instead of like stupid kids figure it out on their own. Why? Yes, maybe that'll happen, but that's where the pain is. That's where the sadness, that's where the self doubt is, because there's nobody over there saying, I fucking did this too. I went through this too. Man, I cried. Man, it hurt. Dude, I'm telling you, this girl broke my heart over and over again, and I kept making the same mistake just like you. You know, but it doesn't make you stupid. It doesn't make you different. It just makes you learning at a different pace, learning something different. And so maybe you'll take that knowledge and you'll share that with the next guy, and you'll lessen his blow. You'll lessen his mental health problems and stuff, because he knows there's somebody else out there just like me going through the same stuff I'm going through.
yeah, yeah. I love that. It's exactly right. It's there is no avoiding it, and if you avoid it now, you only run into it later, right? Because that's the way life
Right.
is.
And it's
So
easy to avoid, right? Because easy means that I don't have to, I'm not sad. There's no failure involved. There's just nothing.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
avoided it. But it's not growing, and then you start to get down the line where you're like, I should have did that thing.
yeah.
Oh man, you know what, if I'd have fell down those 10 times, I'd be where that guy is. If I would have just if I'd have took the bruise on my knee right then, I'd already have the scar tissue that it doesn't hurt anymore.
That's
So
right.
that's the thing you got to teach the kids. You got to teach the kids. Yes, it sucks. Yes, it sucks, but because it sucks, it gets better, better, better. And there's this thing,
Yeah,
it's called confidence when you keep doing that. When you
that's
don't
it.
say, not for me, and you face it head on and you fall down and you're like, that hurt. And you get back up and you keep
Right.
doing. That's where confidence is. It's not
That's
about
exactly right.
achieving. It's about showing up over and over, knowing no matter what happens, I'm getting back up and I'm going to keep moving.
Yeah, yeah. Totally that. It's the same as everything else, isn't it? You know, you know yourself. What day on the gym are you now? 600 and something.
615. Yeah.
Yeah, superb. But you know yourself on on those first 3 days, right? It hurt, didn't it?
Oh
You
yeah.
know, you
It's
were coming home and it was sore, even though
oh
you're a
and
landscaper and you're working your body all the time. It's
day
different.
7 I was going, uh I'm gonna let myself down again. You know, and day 9, I'm like, you know what? When are we gonna fucking get over it? You know that you're just gonna let yourself down, like you have done the 100 other times that you've done it. When are we
Yeah,
gonna do it this time? And every single time, my brain goes, no. You wrote it down. You
that's
made the
it.
promise, and I'm like, no. But I mean, come on, man. We've done how many times have we said this? It's fine, right? It's fine. No, and it goes, no, not this time. Let's
Yeah,
see what happens. Keep going. No, and then my wife, baby, come on, this is ridiculous. How many days is this in a row? And I'm like, baby, you don't understand. You don't get where this is, what this is doing. Watch what's happening. See me in the rest of my life. Don't care about my muscles and all that stuff. I get it. That's what we're paying attention to. But that's not what it's doing for me. My mind, baby. My confidence, my ability to communicate with other people, to connect with other people, to care about other people,
That's
all
it.
comes from this little bit of fuel of showing up, believing in myself when there's so many days I don't want to. I still have that thing. You did it again. You did it
Yeah.
again. Yeah, but
Yeah.
but you did it again. You did it again. And you're right. You're right. I can't deny it. You're right. And so then I started doing other things that I did it again and I did it again, and my diet and all the things. And so that's all it was. It was just snow. It showed me that I can keep promises to myself.
That's it.
And
It's
it's
building
still
evidence,
showing me.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Building evidence, exactly. Building evidence of the man that you can potentially be. So you're getting the physical in the mirror. You know, you can actually see things trimming in, getting larger, you know, more vascularity, more feathering. But the bits you can't see are growing at that same rate. And it's such a powerful, wonderful thing, isn't it? It's just repetition, isn't it? Repetition
Hmm.
of doing the thing, just doing the thing. It hurts. I'm going to keep doing the thing. You know, it's hurting. It's getting easier, but I'm going to keep doing the thing. And then you're not even thinking about it. You're doing the thing all the time without even consciously thinking about it, because you've developed an entirely new way of living just by grinding through the hard stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I got to the point where my brain's over here like negotiating all it wants to, but my body's already in the car. My body's already on the way to the gym. It's like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We know there's noise. We don't listen to that anymore. That voice isn't heard. They used to be loud. It used to be the loudest voice in the head. That used to be the only
Yeah,
one I listened to. And now I go, he's at it again.
that's
We'll
right.
let him talk. We'll let him talk
Yeah.
until he'll talk himself out. You know.
Yeah.
And then
And you
that's
know,
what that way I don't hear that voice in the other parts of my life either. My business, I don't hear that voice as, dude, it's
that's right.
okay. You worked hard enough today. Go home. You know what? We'll get that tomorrow. I don't hear that
Yeah,
voice anymore. It says, get that shit done. Cause you know why? Sleeping tonight's a lot more easier when that list is way shorter.
that's right. That's it. And that's so true. And what was interesting in what you said there was you said you disassociated the voice from you. That's what he said. And I think that's a powerful way of looking at it, because I think a lot of us, especially when we're younger, we think that voice is us. And it's not, is it? That's just doubt. That's fear. That's not
That's
you
the
at all, is it?
devil, right?
It's
I
somebody
mean, it's a
else.
weird, it's a weird thing to compare. Obviously, I'm going through the God thing for the last year, and
Yeah.
I believe there's something to that for me, bro. But when you get the thing is the devil on your shoulder because no, I know me personally. I've been in the moment where I'm about to make the dumbest. I'm going to go steal something, right? Or I'm going to make a bad decision with my. I know that there's another voice in my head going, "What the fuck are you doing? What you get your
Yeah.
ass out of here? That is not the life you want to live. We are not that good. We're good people. We don't want to
Yeah.
do that. What does that do bad for other people? But why are you doing this? Because you're trying to be cool. You're trying to be like you. Everybody. Oh, everybody else is doing it, so we're doing it. And then you have the other voice. Yeah, he's lame. That guy's lame. He doesn't want to be one of the guys. He look at this. All everybody's doing it. We're part of the people, and that's the devil and God to me. The devil is the one that tells me the easy way, the fast way, the instant gratification, and then God is the voice that says, "Take your time, son. Take your time. You will get there. The reward at the end of this tunnel is so much greater than that short little burst of instant gratification." So those are the voices. It's the short voice of instant gratification, and it's the voice of God that tells you, be righteous, be the man that you want to be, the man that you want to be, the good man, the person that lifts people up, that that doesn't talk shit. You know what I mean? The guy that says, I believe in you, and you should believe in yourself. That is God's voice to me. And devil's voice, which I'm not a religious guy, I'm a God guy, but when it comes to religion, I have a different views. And who the fuck am I to have a different view? But I do have a different view. So that's where I am. So when it comes to the devil to me is me. The devil is me and my shoulder, and it is the voice that tries to simplify and cut the corners and do all the things to be happy right this second. To not realize that happiness isn't right this second. It is that gradual growth of being better and improving yourself and lifting other people's up. That's the person. That's where happiness is. This is gratification. This is the masturbation when this is here is making love. You know,
Yeah,
that's the difference to me.
that's right. Yeah, happiness is the byproduct of doing things right.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
the way it
the
is.
more structure, the happier I am. And if you'd have told me that as a kid, I'd be like, "You're out of your freaking mind. You think that following a schedule makes me happy? No, no, no. I go out and party. I'm living
Yeah,
life. I'm not gonna listen to that lame ass guy that's telling me, oh, you mean get up at the same time every day makes you happy? Whatever, dude. No, it
yeah,
does. Keeping those promises. Not to keep you. It's not the getting up at 5 o'clock. It's the fact that you told yourself you're going to do it and you know it's better for you. So therefore, it's beneficial for your future. That's what you get out of it. It's not oh, that guy gets up at 5 a.m. No, that guy does what he says he's going to do. That's why he is who he is.
that's right. And that's why I think a lot of people promote the gym for mental health. And I think people get the wrong impression. It's, oh, if I'm in good shape, then I will be good. It's not, is it? It's being the person that does what they say they're going to do, and that's so compelling to growth, I think, and gratitude, because you make a decision and you stick by your word.
Yeah. Well, and then what you said in your thing is that you no longer are a person that goes to the gym. I am a fitness person. I'm no longer on a diet. I eat. This is who I am as a person. That's the change that has to happen. I tell people out there, like, how do I lose 15 pounds? I go, I don't know how you lose 15 pounds. I guess you can go do Ozempic, you can do whatever. I go, but if you want to change your life and you want to be a different person, I can teach you that. I can teach you how to change how you think. I can't tell you, go buy this diet pill and this protein. If you eat these little cuisines, they're going to be, I'm going to tell you that start eating healthy. Tell yourself you're a healthy person. That's how you eat now. Fitness is not an option. Fitness is who you, that's how I survive. It's my medicine I take every day. It's not, oh, you know what? Do I care about myself today? Maybe 2 times this week I'll care
Yeah,
about myself.
that's right.
No, every day I wake up and I got to brush my teeth. I got to do, and part of my day is go exercise, go do something to physically take that pill. Take that pill that turns out that pill way better than all those little pills they take for depression and all the other stuff. This pill actually makes you feel better.
That's right. Yeah,
The other one
that's
numbs
it.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, up here, the thoughts that you're having and the meaning that you're giving to these thoughts create all the chemicals that you need in your body.
Yeah.
And if you find yourself spiraling, check out what you're thinking about. Where have I been spending my time? Because and the proof of that is an easy proof of that is in embarrassment, isn't it? Somebody picks up on an insecurity, like you're saying. It made me laugh when you said about big ears. I remember going to the barbers when I was very young enough that I used to have to sit on the little plinth that went across the arms of the chair,
Okay. Yeah.
to get up. And the guy says to me, "Oh, you want this haircut?" And I wanted it all short. And it's like, "Oh, you look like the FA Cup." Now the FA Cup is a football trophy, right? So with the big handles. So
Mhm.
that was his point, And whilst everyone laughed, but he was talking about me looking like I had massive ears, and
Right.
yeah, it was crazy. So then I went on a spiral of going to bed, sellotaping my ears to my to my head
I
to
had
try
my
and
ears. I had my ears pinned. I literally had plastic surgery to have my ears pinned back.
craziness, isn't it? It's craziness. But of
Yeah.
course, what happened was my head grew into my ears, so I now have very normal ears. But at the time, as a 7, 8-year-old boy, I had these. Well, this guy made me feel like I had these massive ears,
Right.
and,
No, you
and
made you feel, but we just didn't realize it
that's
back
right. He
then. Is
said
that
it, and
we
I
made
hadn't even mean
ourselves?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. So it's so funny, and of course, every time somebody would perhaps look at me, my mind would go to, oh my goodness, they're looking at my ears. That would set off a chemical reaction that then flushed my face red and made me want to get out of there as quickly as possible. It's a craziness, isn't it?
Yes.
So, but it's,
Self-inflicted, like you said. Yes, definitely.
yeah, absolutely. Well, we're coming to the end of this one. We'll definitely pick this up and do it again, Matt. But so a
Okay.
leaving question for you: if you were to give a young man advice, not the whole thing, but just a golden nugget, what would you offer to a young 15, 18-year-old man?
Be kind to the little guy. I'll go give. Uh, I mean, obviously, this is. I know I should have
Yeah.
just gave
You
advice, but
can't
this is my wife.
cover everything. Just the thing, So just
Right,
a
right,
little
right.
thing.
Yeah. So yeah, what I'd say is. Oh man, I don't know, dude. I
The
start getting so
18-year-old
excited
you. What would you go back and tell the 18-year-old you?
that it's okay. That you know what, you're not alone. Um, there's so many people like it. Everything that you're thinking, everybody else is thinking too. You
Winnie.
that crazy thing that's in your head that you think that you're the only one that thinks about. 1,000 guys think the exact same thing, and they're
Yeah.
very insecure about it. Also, when they
Yeah.
walk in a room, that's the first thing they think about too. They think you're looking at this because that's the thing that they feel the most insecure about. So
Yeah.
you're not alone, is what I would tell them. And forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for the things you do not know. Yeah, you made the mistake, but you didn't know it was a mistake until you made it. Give yourself grace. Understand. Make sure you face them. Face every mistake that you've ever made, but make sure that you forgive yourself for them too. That's what I would do. Don't beat yourself up for the rest of your life. And you are not who you were yesterday. You could be better today. If you don't want to be that person, don't be that person today because you can't fix that, but you can be better today. That's what I would give a kid.
That's brilliant. Absolutely fucking nailed it. So we're going to stop on that because that's too good a place to make forgettable. So thank you for that, Matt. That's that I think is anybody listening who's in that age group. That's it. That little nugget there. Everything was in what Matt just said. So
Have a
thank you,
wonderful
Matt.
day, my friend.
Yeah. You have a great day.